Hey guys, it's BK here with another episode of my new podcast that I'm trying to get going here, called the podcast Nobody Wants to Do with Me. So anyway, I'm trying to move this podcast. I just feel compelled to do it. So we'll see where it goes. But anyway, today I wanted to just kind of jump on and talk about which I haven't talked about pretty much I think since I started. But as some of you may know, I think I did a video a while back that I was starting school again after 40 years. I had not been, had stopped at Howard University back in the 1980s. So anyway, woo. So anyway, I didn't say any more about it because, I kind of wanted to just like get in there, get really solid with it. And your girl has completed her first 16 weeks of school. So I've got my first 4 classes out of the way, and your girl is a student across the board. So she's on a roll. Okay. So I am so proud of myself. So excited and learning like this in the academic situation was very scary to me, just because I had, with COVID, had left me really brain fog, right? And my thinking and stuff, I was like, oh my God, how I'm going to, remember stuff, keep the retention, read all these chapters and different things, and, and keep my thoughts together, because, I had gotten to the point where I literally sometimes was in the middle of a sentence and couldn't remember what I was trying to say. So I am seeing that has helped, because I think, as we know, the brain is a muscle. And so as you use your muscles, they grow and get stronger. And I see my brain getting stronger and growing. And like I said, I'm just so blessed and happy and proud of myself to have, first completed those courses, because so much was going on at the time those classes started. And even now, and I'll go into that a little bit. I'm not sure I'll do it on this video, because I just really wanted to talk about school and how excited I was, and, how I've been doing it. And then, challenges with this too, because physically, I have the arthritis, which has kind of spread since I think the last time I've ever talked about it on here. It's spread, I got it in my wrists, my hands, my hips, my knees, maybe my ankle, I think, maybe showing signs of arthritis. And now, I pretty much, I'm clicking in my shoulders, and I mean, it's just a lot. And then I still had a nerve damage that, we don't know how that occurred. It doesn't really, I've never gotten like, how did that happen? But it occurs it did show up after the surgery on my wrist, on my right wrist, and the nerve damage, but it's in both. So I guess it could be a part of the whole arthritis thing. But I got ruled out for rheumatology. I went to a rheumatologist, and they ruled out that. So it's not rheumatic, arthritis, rheumatoid, that's the word. Rheumatoid arthritis. It's all arthritis, which is, just is in my bones, is in my joints. And, so I've got to do a lot of changing, like I got a lot of physical therapy. I got to get set up, and I got to change my lifestyle. I mean, point blank, I'm reading a lot about this, and really it is going to come down to changing my lifestyle so that, I lose the weight that I'm the extra weight I'm carrying is not helping these old bones and joints, you know what I mean? So I need to, I gotta do that. I gotta, take care of that, take care of the stress in my life as well. And that's, a really big thing in part. So I'm working on all those things to get it, to process, it's all a process. It didn't happen overnight. it's not going to just get solved overnight. But I mean, I'm a work in progress on all of these things, in my life right now. So this episode is just really about us, just kind of touching base on the school thing and how, I had a lot of challenges doing, getting school going was a challenge. First of all, it was just a lot of little things that shouldn't have been a problem that, were a problem, like far as just even the mission part of it. So, got that all done, got classes going, and then all kinds of stuff just happened on my personal side and my mental health, not mental health, but physical side. So I had all these doctor's appointments, and then there are just days when I don't have, what I call is just not a so good day. I have good days, and then I have not so good days where it is just literally, my hands just to move them hurt. My fingers aren't grasping anything enough to type, to put your hands in the, all of those things happen. They don't happen every day, but something pretty much every day I have some part of my body that is in some pain. So, I take a lot of medicine for that. And some of the medicine is working and some is not really working. So that's where I'm at now. It's just trying to find, and that's why I'm thinking I may have to go more of a, what do you call that? Homeopathic or natural, way where I just kind of change the foods I'm eating, get to the point where I can actually walk, without it being so painful to walk. But I may have to walk with the pain to get rid of the pain. So that's in my mind too, that even if it's like maybe 2 minutes, just walking back and forth, just to start getting these, bones and joints moving better, because I can't be where I'm heading. I can't go there. That's just where I'm at now. I can't go there. And that's how I am with a bunch of stuff now. Like, oh, I can't go there. So you Pat gonna have to do PK, y'all know me as PK, but I'm Pat. But you got to do whatever you got to do to not go there. And that's where I'm at now. I can't go any further anymore where I'm at. I got to be going in a different direction for all the stuff in my life, really. And, school, I'm going in the right direction. Like I said, A student, I'm so happy with that. But I got 2 new classes started this week, and sociology, intro to sociology, and intro to statistics application, something like that. But the statistic one, I'm like, ooh, cross your fingers on that one, because both of them are a lot of reading and just very intricate kind of subject matter, I think. So should be interesting, exciting. I've done humanities, which I love that class, and I've done English communication and writing, which was very eye-opening for me because I really had never gotten used to writing academically. I can write, just, oh, okay, you want me to write something, and it's, business writing, but the academic writing, I was always a little like, it threw me for a loop. But I learned a lot from this class, so thank you, Instructor Keith, on that. I learned a lot, and now I think, going forward, my writing for all of my other classes are going to be positively impacted from having taken that class. So very good for that class. The humanity class was good. The sustainability class was just absolutely off the chain for me, because I really had no idea of how sustainability really is every day. Like, it affects us all every day. And I think, you might be like me, where I didn't think sustainability much more about it than recycling and, farm to table, that kind of thing. But other than that, I don't think I thought much more about sustainability as it relates to just the everyday life of any person, any community, our world, all of that all of us, the businesses, the people, everybody, just all of the connections, the systems. It was a great class. So, I'm not here to just, teach the class. But anyway, I just was saying, I just really loved that class. And then I also had a strategy class, which is definitely like how to study and how to take classes online and all of that. So all these classes are really just building up on top of each other. So I think everything I've learned so far will help me in going into the sociology and the statistics class. So fingers crossed for me, guys, that I continue to keep this. I really would like to continue to, if I can be an A student all the way across the board, well, hey, let's do it, right? But I do want to continue to just do my best. And I think if I do my best, I think I'm at least to be, at that point, if I can at least do my best, some of it is, be a little challenging, but even when it has been, I pushed through, and I'm so proud of myself for that too, because it's been very challenging. But so part of this podcast or this episode is just about pushing through the challenges sometimes. Sometimes you don't think you have it in you to push through because you're feeling this, you're thinking this, so much is going on. But I just challenge us all, pun intended, to push through a little bit, to try to push ourselves through, push through sometimes it's a mental block. As I'm really discovering now, everything is about what do you really believe here? What do you really believe here? Because whatever you really believe up here in your mind, that's what's playing out. And I'm realizing that now. I've been telling myself some stuff, but I don't think I've really been believing it up here. Here, I believe it. Up here ain't picked it up. And so up here picks it up, because up here picks it up. Can't nobody tell you nothing. Can't nobody stop you from believing it. Can't nobody tell you it's not going to happen. You get what I'm saying? So if you up here saying, oh, like for instance, I'll just give you an example for my own personal life. Because like I said, I want to share. Because maybe me sharing what I'm going through could help another person. Or maybe y'all can give me a comment or two and say, hey, this is what I did when I was faced with that situation. Like for instance, for the school, that's why I'm, be so happy about, because I started school in the midst of a lot of crisis going on within myself and my family. Like I had the physical crisis going on with me. My family member had some other crisis going on. And then overall, I've just, for the past few years now, as I have to now face it, for the past few years, I have been in a financial crisis of my life. Like I've never been here before, where I've never been able to get myself back to being self-sustainable. And I'm not still self-sustainable, really. And that is something that's been very challenging for me to be here. And I think when it was so challenging for me to be here, I haven't been able to change this that got me here so that I don't be here anymore. And I just kind of realized that. So I don't know if I'm making sense with that, but what I think I'm trying to say is sometimes you think you're not thinking what you're thinking or whatever, because you feel a certain way or you're saying this, like motivation. I'm big on motivation, big on inspiring and motivating yourself. How is my life showing up this way? Well, I must have something inside here. Some belief I'm believing that is contradicting all the things I'm saying positive about my life. You get what I'm saying? So I'm not saying, so I look at that and go, okay, then there's some correction that has to happen. It's not something wrong with you. Correction. Because there's a disconnect between what I believe my life's supposed to look like and be about and what it actually is showing up for me as. So when I look at it that way, just correction. You've got to, I may not even find out what exactly I say that belief is, but now I know there's a self-defeating belief somewhere, because my life now for a couple of years has not been looking like I want it to look, how I wish it to be, how I believe that I know it's supposed to be, not in the specifics of what kind of, positive life you have, but my life should not be where the way it's presenting itself right now. No. No. And I will not accept that anymore. And that's what I've done. I've accepted it because I have ability to be, I'll adapt. Well, I'm not going to adapt anymore to a life I don't want. So enough of the adapting, and that's what I'm just saying. Push yourself through these challenges you can have, because I think on the other side of that push, because just like a push, the one step to take the step is where you want to be. So if you don't want to be where you are and you don't like what you're seeing in your life right now, push yourself to just go that one step in the direction opposite of what you're seeing right now. And I guarantee you, like I'm going to share with you, I'm doing it effective today. I've been saying it, but today, effective today, I'm doing it. I am no longer accepting a life I don't wish to have anymore. Doesn't mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you're not accepting, what do you mean? It's happening. Well, okay, it can happen all the time. I'm not accepting it. You see what I'm saying? I'm not saying it's going by me. It's going to have to go on by me because I'm not accepting it anymore, so I can make changes and adapt myself to a life I don't want. And that's what I've been doing. Adapting myself to a life I don't want. Come on now. Let's get real, Pat. Let's get real. So no more of that. So no more of that. I'm, again, I'll go and pat myself on the back 2 times for continuing to, strive for what I do want, which is to finish, continue my education. I'm so excited about being in school and learning, and it's just a brand new world to me, and I'm not going to allow anything else to take that away from me. But on top of that, I'm not going to just absorb myself into that and then ignore the rest of what's going on in my life, because I think that's what I've done, because it was just easy, like, oh, okay, let me just take all my energy and everything and put it into school. Yes, but then you left no energy, no thing to work with this stuff that is not going well in your life right now. And I'm going to change those things. So you guys, today, what is today? July. This is July 3rd. I think it is. July 3rd is the day that I am no longer accepting making adjustments to a life I do not wish to have, or things that circumstances in my life I don't wish to be having. So I'm not going to keep adjusting to them. I'm going to simply correct them. Correction instead of adjustment. Amen. Let's do correction instead of adjustment, right? Because I'm done with adjusting to things I don't want. I will make a correction to it and get to what I do want. And I hope you will do the same too. So I will see y'all next time. And hopefully, not even hopefully, I'll see y'all next time, next week for another episode of a podcast. But I got some new stuff coming too on the channel, period. So I got some stuff doing. Like I said, today has just been a real eye-opening day of, hey, adjusting to make the correction to the things God has put on your heart to do and be about. So here we go. Today is the day. Day 1, babes. Bye.